Welcome, LA Progressive friends, family, readers, viewers. Um, we're really excited. We're getting into election season, and we have a primary that's coming up on March the 5th. The ballots will be mailed out shortly, so you can actually vote before March the 5th. And one of the people who is going to be on the ballot, who is running for Superior Court of Los Angeles, is Ericka Wiley, seat number 48. Is that right, Ericka? Seat number
That's
48.
absolutely right. Seat number 48.
So we have Ericka with us today, and she's going to talk to us about herself, why she's running, what kind of difference she can make. I will say that she has had over 20 years of experience as a public defender, and it's very unusual for a public defender to run for a Superior Court judge seat. To the best of my knowledge, we only have one. Last year or 2 years ago, Holly
Hancock.
Hancock, yes.
Yeah.
Holly Hancock. So Ericka Wiley is running for Los Angeles Superior Court Judge, seat number 48. And Ericka, tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you so much, Sharon. And I just am really relishing this opportunity to talk to you and your listeners and viewers about myself and my candidacy. Um, I am running for Superior Court Judge, seat number 48, office number 48. And a little bit about me. I am a lifelong Angelino. I have lived in Los Angeles and was raised in South Central Los Angeles by a single mother who really poured a lot into her family and her kids. And she's the reason why I'm here today. She instilled in me the values of community and of education and of service to my community. And I'd like to say, because of my mom, community service is in my DNA. I started my career as a young lawyer with the Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles. That was actually a volunteer position through the AmeriCorps program, which is a longstanding governmental program that places professionals of all backgrounds in needed spaces in our communities. And so I worked for legal aid, doing eviction defense and community economic development as a new lawyer on stipend as a volunteer, making about $800 a month. So that was even a very small amount of money back then. So, but it was, like I said, this work was something I really, really wanted to do. I had other opportunities to make more money, but it's something I really wanted to do, which was to serve my community. A little bit of background on that. Going back to my mom, she was someone who raised a whole house full of kids on very little income, public assistance, and she supported us, subsidized housing, and with the income from a small thrift shop that she had very near our house. And I was always struck to see my mom give away some of the best of her product to some of the poor women in the community. And what she told me and taught me through what I saw develop from that was that when you pour into the community, what you get back is really more than you ever put out there. And what I mean by that is that some of these women who she consulted with and gave away baby clothes to them when they didn't have any money to buy them uh, turned out to be women who did house cleaning for some rich business investors or landlords and real estate investors. And it turns out that a few of these women became the source of most of the inventory for my mom's store because they would tap her to say, hey, this landlord is cleaning out this house. You've helped me. Come and get all of this stuff. And for years, this is what supported our family. So I saw the give and take in community really sustain us and become a giving circle. And so that's what really caused me to understand that even with the opportunities to make a lot of money, that serving my community with Legal Aid Foundation was something I really wanted to do. I worked there for a short period of time, but kept a part-time job because, frankly, I needed the money. And that job was working.
But $800 a month wasn't enough?
Not quite. Not quite. But I subsidized my income by working for another longstanding institution in our area, the St. Anne's Maternity Home. And that was and is a social service organization which for many years has serviced the needs of pregnant and parenting teens in Los Angeles who have been impacted by their experiences with either the juvenile court system as delinquent youth, or designated as delinquent youth, or the dependency system. So these young girls, I worked as their resident counselor, sometimes overnight, most of the time during the day. And part of my job included taking them to their court hearings, to the juvenile courts. And this really opened up a world of information for me, because I would transport these girls who I loved and had developed a relationship with as their counselor, and would take them to court. And it was absolutely heartbreaking to see what would happen to them in court. It often appeared to me that decisions, really major decisions, were being made about their life in a split second and with very little information. And the court often seemed to be one that worked in a lot of haste and with a lot of misinformation, or very quickly obtained information about my young resident who I transported. And they'd be making decisions about whether or not this young lady had access to her biological parents for visits, sometimes even decisions about the length and degree to which she could see her own child or other members of her family, have passes, um, terminate placement, things of that nature, being made with so little information. And that's when I knew I really wanted to get into court, to be able to advocate for people who really didn't have anyone on their side, or didn't appear to have someone working really hard on their side. And so when an opportunity emerged for me to work as a public defender, and that first opportunity came with Merced County, California. I moved to that area. I had some family in the Fresno area, very close, and I moved out to Merced and gained a world of experience in working as a public defender in the criminal courts, and that was back in 1999. I handled a large number of trials in that first year, got my feet wet in learning the criminal law. And when the hiring freeze, which had been in place when I first started looking for work in the courts, lifted in LA County, I accepted a job with the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office. And I've proudly been working in that office since the year 2000. I have, again, got tons of experience working in my office. I've handled cases ranging from minor misdemeanors to capital offenses. I have handled over 100 misdemeanor, felony, and juvenile trials. I have, in the public defender's office, worked as a deputy in charge, supervising other lawyers in the office, as well as worked to train lawyers specifically in legal writing. So this work is really something that is near and dear to my heart, working on behalf of individuals, indigent individuals. I found in my work that the issues of mental illness, of homelessness, and of drug addiction really impact a majority of my clients. And I've spent a good portion of my career, I'd say the first half of my career, um, I say working in the area of criminal justice reform before it ever had a name. That means finding programs for individuals, advocating on behalf of these individuals, frankly, begging courts to give them an opportunity to do something other than go and sit in a prison cell for many, many years for the crimes that they committed. The first part of my career was spent fighting for individuals who had committed crimes like petty theft and possession of small amounts of drugs, from doing double-digit years in prison. That was really what was in existence at back in 2000 when I first started in the LA County Public Defender's Office. But I've seen a progression in our criminal justice system, progression that I really want to be a part of. So that's a little bit about my background and who I am.
Wow, and what a background you've had. And I think it's particularly important that you carry, or you're seeing through a lens that oftentimes is not represented on the bench. So often we'll have people on the bench who don't have the kind of background where they could even begin to understand why so many people in Los Angeles County. I'm just looking at a statistic that is on the LA Defensa website, talks about Los Angeles being the epicenter of mass incarceration, that approximately 44% of the people held in LA County jails are pre-trial.
Absolutely.
Pre-trial, meaning they are legally innocent. So what that tells me is these people also are suffer from social economic conditions. If they're there because they can't afford cash bail,
That's
I
very
mean,
true.
it's so important that someone like you, who comes from the kind of background who could understand a person like that. I've been taking a class with Professor Jody Armour, who is a law professor at USC, who talks a lot about the criminogenic social conditions that are the social conditions that create a kind of kindling for crime. And these severe economic conditions are absolutely kindling for crime. So it's wonderful that you are running for this office. I want to talk a little bit about LA Defensa, the LA Defenders, and the mission of the organization. How, how did you connect with them?
I connected with Law Defensa. I'd like to say there was a meeting of the minds between what has been my entire experience in my work and in my lived experience, and what I saw to be an organization which recognized the need to have a social undergirding of programs to support our court systems in really creating public safety, addressing issues, having a recognition that courts need to address the underlying causes of crime in order to protect our community and our community safety. I believe that Law Defensa has those views, and I know that I have those views. So I became connected with Law Defensa actually through a recommendation by a judge in the Superior Court about a judicial training academy that they were putting on last summer, which reached out to and considered applications from lawyers in the community who really wanted to get more information, like I did, about how to become a Superior Court judge, how to run for Superior Court judge. There's obviously two ways to become a Superior Court judge: appointment through the governor or running in an election, both of them very legitimate ways to become judges. But this opportunity for participation in the training academy opened up last summer, and it really opened up a world of information that I would never have had the opportunity to know or have. It was really invaluable information about what it would take to run a campaign, the financial cost, the understanding of the world of voters, how many voters we have in our county, how to reach those voters, um, developing a message consistent with letting the voters know who you are and what you represent. All of these things were really invaluable messages that I learned in Law Defensa's academy, a coalition academy, and what has helped me really form my decision to run, and I believe helped me extensively in my campaign.
Wow. Well, Miss Ericka Wiley, it's been a pleasure spending this little bit of time with you. I just feel so honored that you're taking the experience that you have worked so hard to develop, and now bringing it to the bench. And we certainly wholeheartedly support you. We support La Defensa and their many projects. One of the projects is Rate My Judge. Um, I encourage people to go to the Law Defensa website, where you will see the people who are running for Superior Court judge seats who have been vetted by Law Defensa. Ms. Ericka Wiley is one of those people, and the LA Progressive wholeheartedly supports them and endorses them. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we close?
I'd just like to say, Sharon, thank you so much for this opportunity to reach out to your listeners and viewers. I do believe that our criminal justice system, our criminal courts in LA County, need to be more representative, as you've indicated, people with lived experience who know what it's like to live in our communities, the communities of people who appear in courts, courts of all jurisdictions. So I appreciate the opportunity, and vote on March 5th.
Thank you so much. So long from LA Progressive. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for sticking around. If you like the LA Progressive content and the discussions we have here, please consider clicking the subscribe button below and also give us a thumbs up. That helps to grow our audience by feeding the algorithm, which helps to get this content in front of more eyes. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate your support.